Bitter criticism from Vietnam. Absolutely, nah. Not Vietnam, but it will be nice. I wonder how really is Vietnam. I guess I will never go there. Danny Haipong, for sure he knows all about not this, not this, all this garbage, but I know why of this, all this garbage, because some homeless, I know the guy, he liked it. At some point, he liked all this garbage, and he bring all of them. Well, the dogs are eating grass. The dogs are grassing. Look. That was Lucky, and well, Lucky is one of her names. People call her Chica also, or Negra. So we are waiting for the grassing, and I'm going to the bamboo studio. What about bamboo studio? This bamboo, as everybody knows, has grown in a record time of, I don't know, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is unbelievable, is impressive. Growing like bamboo. Bamboo grows unbelievably fast. Too much grass for now. There will be more grass everywhere. I hope I'm alone here. Who knows? Look, there's like yeah. Maybe I'm going to do this show right here. Yeah, but I'm going to take off this the mattress. This like just a sponge. I will use the sponge as a tripod. Something like this. I'm going to record 10 minutes of news or 20 minutes. It's beautiful. Look. Beautiful. It's true. Just 1 second. One second. Yeah, Valu. So here we go. Reading some news. I always want to read, Cgtn, yeah, let's do the Cgtn from Vietnam. Cgtn from Vietnam. It's always a joke. But this very channel, nobody reads, nobody sees it. I can joke freely. Let's read Cgtn right till the end. Cgtn. Top 5 from the highlights. Let's go to the first. I'm going to do this always. Just heading to the first. Without discrimination. This place is very interesting. It's very impressive because, as you can see, there's a lot of bamboo, but right here in the middle, there's nothing. It's like a natural home, a natural house. Definitely, I can live here. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like this guy, this homeless guy. He's kind of. He's like nervous, you know? He's nervous. He's like an artist, he's a singer. I guess all musicians are bad people. Anyway, politics. March March 9, 2025. China's top political advisory body hosts third plenary meeting of annual session. And we have a photograph, the third plenary meeting of the third session of the 14th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference is held, I don't know where. I don't want to click on the image. The 14th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, China's top political advisory body, held the third plenary meeting of the ongoing annual session on Sunday. Wang Huning, a member of, maybe you say Wang Huning, or is a Chinese name, not an English name. It says Huning or Hanning. Hunin, a member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China, CPC Central Committee, and chairman of the CPPCC National Committee, attended the meeting. During the meeting, 14 national political advisors shared their views on a wide range of topics. Senior officials from the CPC Central Committee and the State Council were invited to hear the suggestions. There's another name, Tu Haiming. There's a proper name, a person name, Tu. His name is Tu. Tu Haiming praises the recent positive developments in Hong Kong's special administrative region, saying that they once again prove that the region can always count on the motherland. He stressed the need to boost cultural confidence and national identification among local residents for the steady and continued success of one country, two systems. They are talking about Hong Kong, yeah. Shang Guanghan, a member of the 14th National Committee of the CPPCC, speaks at the third plenary meeting of the third session of the 14th. Shang Guanghan urged the swift establishment of a comprehensive cultural heritage protection framework, calling for improvements to laws and regulations, the development of new oversight means, and more efforts to raise public awareness. He added that efforts must be made to ensure the entire society participates in, supports, and promotes the systemic protection and unified oversight of cultural heritage. Xiao Jingming called for measures to modernize environmental governance systems and capacities, adding that work needs to be done to coordinate carbon emission reduction, pollution mitigation, green development, and economic growth. Sources: Xinhua News Agency. That was just the first time. Hey. You know, the one good thing about male dogs in general is that they respect females. I will say 90% of male dogs, they respect females. That's amazing because you can rely on it, you know. If you have to walk two dogs, if one dog is a male and the other is a female, well, you of course you will make some tests beforehand, but 90% there will be no problem. So let's go to the second news. China, March 9, 2025. China maintains steady, reasonable defense spending, wrote spokesperson. And there's a photograph. Wu Qian, spokesperson for the delegation of the People's Liberation Army and the People's Armed Police Force, meets the press March 9, 2025. China's defense spending has maintained reasonable and steady growth over the past years, a Chinese military spokesperson said Sunday. Wu Qian, spokesperson for the delegation of the People's Liberation Army (PLA) and the People's Armed Police Force, made the remarks during the annual National Legislative Session. It was disclosed at the session that China's 2025 defense budget in central government expenditures will be 1.78 trillion yuan, about $249 billion, marking a 7.2% growth year on year. I guess I read a very similar news yesterday in this very channel. Wu said the increase in expenditure will primarily be used to develop new domain forces with advanced combat capabilities and enhanced systems and capacities for reconnaissance and early warning, joint strikes, battlefield support, and integrated logistics support. The spending will also go towards improving military training under combat conditions and deepening national defense and military reform, who added. Compared to military powers like the United States, China's defense spending remains relatively low in terms of its share of GDP, national fiscal expenditure, per capita defense spending, and expenditure per service member, he noted. The spokesperson emphasized that China has yet to be completely reunified and faces one of the most complex peripheral security environments in the world. The Chinese military faces tough challenges in safeguarding national sovereignty and territorial integrity, Wu said. Wu stressed that China's restrained defense spending enables the military to provide public security goods and further contribute to building a community with a shared future for humanity, sources Xinhua News Agency. This news, of course, there's a lot of paragraphs that is just institutional, but I like it. I like this kind of institutional news. Economy, Cgtn, China's newsletter, China's government newsletter. Economy, March 9, 2025. China's CPI and PPI dip amid high base effect in February. I don't know what's CPI and PPI. March 9, 2025. There's a photograph. Consumers selecting vegetables at a supermarket in southwest China's Guizhou province, February 9. China's Consumer Price Index, this CPI. China's Consumer Price Index, CPI, a main gauge of inflation, edged down 0.7% year on year in February, while the Producer Price Index (PPI) fell 2.2%. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) showed on Sunday. NBS statistician NBS statistician Dong Lihuan attributed the decline in prices to the staggered shift of the Spring Festival and the resulting high base effect, more favorable weather in February, price off promotions and fluctuations in some international commodity prices. The Spring Festival holiday occurring during January to February this year led to a higher comparison base from last year's elevated food and service prices, as the 2024 holiday fell solely in February. The absence of such a surge this year resulted in a negative impact on the year-on-year CPI comparison, while when deduced for the staggered shift of the Spring Festival, the CPI actually saw a modest increase of 0.1%, indicating the current trend. The current trend of moderate price recovery has not changed, Dong added. Favorable weather conditions in February also contributed to the CPI dynamics. This year's mild weather facilitated the growth and transport of fresh vegetables, helping to stabilize food prices. In the automotive sector, price of promotions of both fuel and new energy vehicles further influenced the CPI. Prices for these vehicles dropped by 5.0% and 6.0% respectively, contributing to a 0.16 percentage point decrease in the CPI. And there's a photograph. A technician works at a machine tool production line in East China's Anhui province, March 7. On the industrial front, the PPI saw a 0.1% month-on-month and a 2.2% year-on-year decline. The PPI's decline was influenced by the seasonal lull in production activity around the Spring Festival, reduced demand for building materials due to halted construction projects and stable coal supply, and during ample reserves at power plants and ports. Additionally, the transmission of international oil price fluctuations led to a decrease in prices within domestic petroleum-related industries. The NBS economists noted that the gradual impact of macroeconomic policies and rising production demand in certain sectors also helped narrow the PPI's decline. There's a news about Zelensky's approval rating rises amid tensions with Washington. Zelensky's approval rises. And there's the last one, Israel and Hamas signal readiness for ceasefire talks. But this I'm going to read in Al Jazeera then other day, maybe today. Who knows? And all that was the Bamboo News, the Bamboo Studio.